This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Kitty Golomsky from the Alpena Senior Center. Good morning, Kitty.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for being here, and I know what a busy schedule you have, and I know with the changes in the Blue Cross and the Medigap and all those scary things and the open drug enrollment that are going on right now, I know you really don't have time to be here, but I know how important it is to you and the Senior Center to get the word out about the changes and how people
Absolutely.
can come and talk to you and get it from the expert's mouth.
Yeah. Well, the first thing that we have coming up here is our annual open enrollment for Medicare Part D drug programs. And this is so important to every senior that has a drug program that they have at least a look at what those costs are going to be next year. And this is the opportunity between October 15 and December 7th every year to look at their plan and has it changed? Do they have drugs that they need to add and consider or take away? And what are those costs? And is that plan the best one for you? This is the opportunity. They can enroll in a new plan if they need to, and that plan would start January 1st. So
okay, and a lot of times, you know, you read the information, you go online and you read and you look at it, and it's just overwhelming and baffling. It's so much easier to come in and sit down face to face, have someone who cares about you and about your plan, who knows all the answers. But we want to tell them, don't just walk into the Senior Center and expect to sit down and talk to you.
Well, they need to call in and schedule a time, and they can do that now by calling the center at 356-3585, and they just say, I need to make a Part D appointment. And they get to come and see a MAP counselor, and MAP stands for Medicare Medicaid Assistance Program, and we're certified in Medicare and Medicaid, and we sit down one-on-one and talk with you, and we have there's a team of us that work during open enrollment, and we're not affiliated with a drug company, you know, or any other outside company. We're independent, so we get to talk to you and talk about maybe what are the ins and outs of some of these plans and how can you save money, and that's where we point you.
And you know, we all think if you have insurance, oh, this is going to be taken care of, this is going to be pretty easy, but that's not the case, especially with the changes with Blue Cross.
Blue Cross is a Medigap program. It's called a legacy program, and it's actually subsidized by the state of Michigan through December 31st. A lot of people don't realize if they have it or not, but if you pay $122.86 per month or $40.86 per month, you either have the Blue Cross Plan A or Plan C, and these are Medigaps.
Okay.
So what they need to know, and these have been solid plans ever since 1980.
I know.
They've been very affordable. People are happy with their plan, but they need to know that they have great insurance, not because of Blue Cross or any other company. It's because they have a Medigap plan. And so I invite people. I am putting on classes, little forums to explain about the change and what's happening. It's going to happen soon, January 1st, but we also cover what are your options, and do you have opportunity to maybe find something that can save you some money.
Okay, so how do we find out when those forums and little classes are?
Because there's almost 2,100 people in Alpena County that have Blue Cross Legacy, we ask that you call and give us your name and your telephone number, and then we call you to schedule the next forum, and that way I get to sit down with maybe 30 to 40 people instead of 500.
Right.
And that way you get to ask your questions and
get that same one-on-one just about that you get when you come in and meet at the Senior Center.
Exactly, but we want you to know how to shop for a Medigap and to compare what you have with those other plans. So we really take a lot of time and review this whole thing so that you can make an informed decision about your health care.
You know, really, really important, don't wait till the last minute, because it may take a while to do the shopping online or find, you know, a comparable plan. So please don't wait till the last minute.
Don't wait till the last, you have until December 7th.
Okay.
But the flip side is don't be hurried. And so as you talk to salespeople in insurance, boy, they're good at their job, you know. But you want to know the questions to ask, and I give those to you. And you want to know the factors that will cause plans to cost more. And so we really talk about this. And I had one senior that took this list. I think there's about 10 questions on it that you ask when you shop. And she went right down the list. And the insurance agent said, "Where did you get these questions?"
Perfect.
So that's what I thought.
Now you're actually going to be bringing some vendors together, correct?
Yes, on October 14th, we're holding a vendor fair at the Senior Center from 1 to 5. And this is an opportunity too, that if you've done your home shopping and you think you found a plan, you can bring it in and talk to vendors and say, you know, meet it or beat it. So I think it's a good way to shop.
Okay, and you had something else. Oh, a collaboration with the Boys and Girls Club.
We're going to start a trial with the Boys and Girls Club. What came out as part of our educational session was that some seniors lack technology skills.
Imagine that.
And internet. And so we called the Boys and Girls Club and said, do you have some teens that are internet savvy that could help people search? And the answer, of course, was a resounding yes.
Perfect.
So we're going to set up appointments with our teens and have seniors come in, and they can do the navigating, and seniors can take down the information and do the driving behind the computer. So
okay, we're almost out of time, so one more time, a phone number where we can reach you and get some appointments set up.
Absolutely. The Senior Center, 356-3585.
Thank you so much for being here, and I'll get back to work helping those wonderful seniors make sure that they have affordable insurance.
Thanks, Nancy.
Thank you. I'll be right back with Katie Conklin from Hope Shores Alliance following these messages. Hi, welcome back. As promised, my last guest today is Katie Conklin from Hope Shores Alliance. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Nancy. How you doing?
Good. And you know, you changed the name of Shelter Inc. to Hope Shores Alliance to better fit all of the umbrella of services that you have. And I know that there's never a dull moment at Shelter. You're so busy in the community, helping wonderful families and people in our communities, doing education and all these great things. And October happens to be Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Yes, it is. And we've got some events planned for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And this is a month where we acknowledge and recognize the strengths and the resiliency of survivors. And the reason we call them survivors, because that's exactly what they are. They are survivors, and they're very resilient. And then also, unfortunately, we have victims that do not survive. And we unfortunately have, in our service area, we've had a domestic homicide this year. And so we honor those that have lost their lives. And not just the victims, sometimes the secondary victims as well, the collateral, somebody in trying to help, and they're hurt in the process as well. But we also, it's not just a sad time, because there are a lot of successes. And I'm here to tell you that I can give you so many examples of wonderful successes and people landing on their feet and getting a fresh start in life. And that's really all that they need, is somebody to believe them, support them, validate what they're going through, and understand the impact of trauma on their lives. And that's just what it is. It's dealing with trauma.
And that's what all of you do at Hope Shores Alliance.
That's what we do. That is exactly what we do. And we're more than just a battered women's shelter. That's only about 25% of what we do. We have counselors and community advocates, boots on the ground. We're doing community education and outreach and systems change and partnering with wonderful partners in the community. I mean, we have a very supportive community here. And we cover 3,005 square miles of rural community. And our advocates and our counselors are out there working in the communities and meeting the needs of the survivors of sexual assault and domestic violence.
And you know, domestic violence and sexual assault doesn't always happen in a marriage. It can happen in a relationship, same-sex marriage partners, whatever.
Absolutely.
And there's so many different forms. I mean, in mental, emotionally, physically, financially. Those are all ways that you can be abused.
Absolutely right. And those are tactics Those are tactics abusers use to maintain and keep, actually to gain power and control, and then to maintain power and control. And it's very divisive, and it's very well thought out. It's not just, oh, I lost control, oh, I have a drinking problem, oh, no, this
My
is
job's in jeopardy.
my
Oh,
job,
yeah.
or I'm angry. It's not an anger issue.
Right.
We all have anger.
Yes,
it's
how you
just
deal
what
with
we
it.
choose. This is
Yeah.
a choice, because these people can conform to the everyday norms of society, and they're master manipulators, and they take their tactics into the courtroom as well. And I see that in the civil arena a lot, where we really could use more attorneys in the community who would be willing to represent survivors, and especially in custody and parenting time cases, because that is ripe for abuse. That is just the same type of abusive tactics, different venue, but nevertheless the same.
But you, as an attorney, must be very excited about some of the wonderful new laws that have come out.
I am. We have a couple of laws that changed in the civil arena that are a long time coming. And the Child Custody Act is one of the laws that was amended this year and went into effect. And I believe, I hope I don't misspeak, it's Factor J, and I'm paraphrasing, which states that the willingness of the other parent to facilitate a good parent-child relationship with the other parent. Well, in domestic violence cases, we're dealing with people who don't have an even playing field. We are not talking about arm's length bargaining here. We're
Right.
talking about an abuser trying to gain
Right.
more power and control, and often these are launched in courts and custody battles. And the factor reads, before it was changed, it just simply said whether or not that other parent is willing to facilitate a parent-child relationship. Well, in domestic violence cases, if one of the parents is trying to protect the children from another case, that was often used then against that parent.
Okay.
When they're really truly trying to protect their children from the abusive parent. And so there is an exception that went into effect, and I'm very happy to hear that happened. Another change in the law came in the form of the mediation, mandatory mediation provisions for parents who are either divorcing or in custody cases. It's automatically mandated to have
Perfect.
mediation. Well, now we have an exception for those that are involved in domestic violence because it might not be safe for them.
That's what I'm thinking.
And the legislature at first said, well, then they can take their attorney to mediation with them for protection. Well, I don't know anybody else, but I'm not going to be able to necessarily protect
No.
my client if there
No.
is a dangerous abuser wanting to engage in an assault.
No.
So that law changed to make an exception for domestic and sexual violence. When there's
Perfect.
violence and there's danger involved, they're not going to make those parties work it out. There is no working it out.
You know, Katie, we have about 2 minutes left. A lot of people in our community, want to help. They don't know what they can do. What are some ways that people in our community could help the Hope Shores Alliance, that's
I know.
sheltering families and people, men, women, and children? What are some things we can do to help?
Well, we always need volunteers. We have 2 thrift stores that we could use volunteers. We need volunteers to help with our safe house repairs. Sometimes it gets into disrepair, and we could use people with skills that we need daycare. We could use volunteers helping with child care, activities. We have so many. We have over 80 volunteers right now,
Amazing.
but we always need more volunteers. And of course, money.
Fundraising.
Fundraising. You
Fundraising
can help
money.
with fundraising activities. People don't necessarily have to commit themselves to be on a board of directors that they have to, commit a whole lot of their time. There's come in and do a once and done event for us. We help out, and we love to do that. And it not only raises awareness, it brings in money for additional services.
Yes, it does. All right, we have enough time to get your 800 number.
Okay, we can be reached at 800-396-9129, and that is a 24-hour
Okay.
help and support line.
And if you have any questions, if you wonder if something's going on, if it is a case of sexual assault, or if it is domestic violence, just give them a call. They have wonderful people who answer the phone,
Absolutely.
and they'll be glad to talk to you and lead you in the right directions.
Absolutely.
And you're never alone.
And you're never alone.
Thank you, Katie.
You're welcome.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster. I'm president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning our newest ACC faculty person, Larry Thompson.
Good morning.
Larry is a criminal justice instructor and a longtime distinguished policeman in the city of Alpena. Larry, tell us how your first 2 weeks have gone.
It's been a great 2 weeks. I have over the years been a part-time instructor at Alpena Community College, so I already had some of that experience, but it was certainly great to get a start with a full class load, and it's going very well. I've got a great group of students anxious to learn, and I'm anxious to give them not only the technical knowledge, but also some of the life experience knowledge that I've developed in my 35 plus years of law enforcement experience.
A very important piece of criminal justice work, I think, people skills, understanding, experience, that sort of thing. Could you share with the viewers, kind of the two-pronged nature of the criminal justice program? I think many don't know that.
Well, the criminal justice program at Alpena Community College is unique in a lot of ways, but one of the more prevalent ways is the fact that we offer not only classes for those students who are interested in maybe a criminal justice career, but also those who are interested in going into a corrections field. As we know, our corrections throughout the northern Michigan area, we have a lot of county jails housing prisoners, and we need a staff to monitor those folks. And we're offering at Alpena Community College a community corrections program that not only gives the training but certifies those who attend the required number of hours through our academy. And the local sheriff's departments, it's a great asset to them because they can send people to a local academy without having the expense of sending them somewhere downstate to obtain the required training.
So in that area, the corrections area, you just went downstate yesterday or the day before to meet some of the sheriffs, right?
Yes, we had the opportunity, my coworker and I had the opportunity yesterday to travel to Lansing. It was the semi-annual Michigan Sheriff's Association Training Council meeting, and I was able to become familiar with some of the folks involved with that and really get a feel for what the program is all about. Some of the new, the cutting edge things that they're doing with the academies. We had several academy representatives there that spoke about their programs that have been in effect for years, and I was able to actually gain a lot of information and hopefully in the furtherance of our program going forward.
I think you touch on something that's real essential but kind of goes under the radar, and that is the legwork that's required by instructors to stay current in the field in which they're working, and that seldom is a static thing. It's always changing.
Yes, just as people change, the people's careers change, the jobs change, and if to be current for our students, we have to be current with the people that we're working with, that we're interacting with. Obviously, our goal at Alpena Community College is to give our students job skills so that when they leave our programs, they are able to go out and find good paying jobs. And in an effort to do that, we certainly have to be able to connect those students with those folks who are actually looking for the good quality employees, and that connection is essential.
Good deal. So the other, you talked about the corrections prong of the program, and the criminal justice part is training people to be policemen and women?
Correct, yes. We have several programs within the criminal justice program at Alpena Community College. One certainly prepares them to go on to a four-year institution, say they want to go on and get a bachelor's degree. Others prepare them for going to an academy, like Kirtland Community College offers an academy, which will then allow them to be certifiable and be hireable by any agency in Michigan.
I think many folks would be surprised at how many students we have in criminal justice at ACC.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I'm actually teaching 5 courses right now, and of those 5 courses, I would estimate our numbers probably nearing or at about 80 students in all of the programming areas.
Which would make it one of the largest occupational programs, one of the largest programs we have at ACC. So
that is correct.
very vibrant. And so Tell you had you referenced your 35 years of experience, and those of us who know you know that you had a great career and very highly distinguished, very credible. Can you embed that in the classroom that so students benefit?
Well, one of the things, in like you said, 35 years. In 35 years, I have seen a lot. The good, the bad, and the ugly, as some would say. And I think the ability to share that as a personal experience, or those as personal experiences, is crucial. I know when I was a student at ACC studying criminal justice, my instructors were able to give that to me. And that was furthered by the opportunity that I had and is being offered to students at Alpena Community College still today, and that is an internship program where they can actually go out and ride along with someone in the field of interest to them. And I believe that is that opportunity is something that is crucial, as well as the opportunity, like I say, for me to share my experiences. When a police officer lives an experience, that's one thing. But then if they can go forward and share that experience with others, as I'm able to do here, I think that just makes the value of that just immense.
Yes, I agree. And this has to feel full circle to you, starting out as an ACC student and having a career, and then coming back to teach in the area where you worked and lived.
Absolutely, it's an opportunity to give back. I greatly valued my education at ACC. I went on to Ferris, got my degree at Ferris, came back to Alpena a couple years later, and have been here my whole career. Have a real connection with the community, and now I'm connecting with those students who hopefully, well, in fact, two of my past students are now police officers with Alpena Police Department. So I do see the full circle effect of it. I'm actually able now to share my experiences in hopes that it will help the current students be better police officers.
Thank you, Larry, and thank you for what you do for ACC and ACC students. And thank you, folks, for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts, Nancy Smitham and Don McMaster. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on the community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.
The Talk of the Town furniture and set design are provided by Young Appliance Art Van Furniture on US 23 South in Alpena.